word you're at. That way when you look up, you can go right back to where your finger's at. If you can remember to do that.
Okay.
Don't lose your place trying to remember to keep your finger on it. So it can help to allow you to, you don't want to keep your face down the whole time. So it's Proverbs. Same root.
Proverbial. Is it proverbial or proverbial?
When I have like a name or something, I'll write out, I'm not worried about it being correctly spelled on the paper, but like write out the letters like,
Alright, let's see what we're at 15%.
does that make it easier?
You think we made it?
Proverbial tell.
I just read that.
Caleb, you doing the lights?
iPad. Done. Hello.
right here. It's up against. It's leaning on the bottom. It's muted. I don't know when you guys unmute it.
Is it supposed to be muted?
It says mute right now.
No, it's not muted.
It stays. Well, it used to stay over there. I swear I used to put it up in there and it would like help hold it. Not anymore. Look, just put it right here. That looks awful. Nice. Like, see it again. Oh, there we go. That's not gonna muffle it. It's a microphone, right? They get muffled. You know what Mike's happened to?
I don't think that's.
I just don't want it to slide down the middle of him talking.
I do.
Keep him on his toes.
You're gonna have to do this then.
Why can't it just sit right here?
Because that's in his way, isn't it?
Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah, if he's moving the pages.
I don't understand why it's not staying the way it used to stay.
See if like push against this thing.
Like this?
By the way.
Muffle it.
That will. What's that?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Meanwhile, everybody that's got it set up is like, what's happening? They're like, look at something. I heard that whole entire conversation. And all the like blanking around.
Also, I can see because it's not the entire solution there. So you still have to get something to that out. Not an issue like probably like this. Those are, I wish that they, there were people that were going to, you know, in the highest jack and, like, Joy wants to hate these things on, because they're all people, and then, like, that's what, that's still like a lot of people, and I don't think that's a lot of flashbacks for some people that, I don't even forget, so when things stormed out, they're all going to, that's why they're going to believe, so everyone else is probably what's going on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Before you go fly across the sun.
All right, welcome to Devin Long's senior speech. Yeah, you can clap again. This one? There we go. Okay. So, Devin joined prep in the 5th grade, which means that Devin's first day at prep was also my first day at prep. What stood out to me was his Matt Ryan Falcons jersey that he was wearing then. In fact, I took a picture of it that day. Some of you may remember this room. This is 5th grade, Mr. Meb's computer science class. And I took this picture on the first day to prove to my wife that the fifth graders, that I was surviving teaching fifth graders for the first time. And I remember, based on where all you guys, and up here at far in the back, you can see, there's Devin. Wearing his Falcons jersey. That's typing pal you guys are doing right there, if you remember that. So Devin, a lifelong Falcons fan. I remember thinking at this time that this kid better get ready for constant disappointment if he's really going to be invested in this. But fast forward about 8 years, and today is Devin's giving his senior speech, and joined here today with him is his father, Donald Long, his mother and former Wholesome Tummies Fantasy Football League champion, who is also an awesome science teacher, according to my son, Tracy Long, his grandparents, Ron and Cheryl Dixon, and his dog joining us virtually, Shigo. Thank you, Shigo. During his time at Prep's upper school, Devin has been on our basketball team all 4 years. Outside of Prep, Devin coaches basketball at Patriots Park. I know Devin's resilient attitude serves those he coaches well. Devin's been trained to never give up over the years by the likes of the Falcons, the Hawks, and the Braves. So he's in the right frame of mind to speak to you today on the topic of perseverance. Please welcome Devin to the podium.
It wasn't supposed to end like this. Go on, Wall. Two more runs are going to score. The Cardinals just pouring it on in the first inning. The historic 10-run inning.
That thing just kept rolling. We couldn't stop it.
The celebration.
Cardinals beat the Braves in Game 5, 13-1.
On our home field.
End of the line for the Atlanta Braves.
We had a really good team. We just didn't put it all together in the 5 games we needed to this year.
For a long summer, it was an especially short fall. The latest disappointing end to a promising season for an Atlanta sports team.
I am excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
From the heartbreaking sale of the Thrashers
Sitting up here today is like a group.
to a Hawks team still rebuilding.
Not a lot of believers coming into this game, especially not this defense, but man, have they played great.
And the worst Super Bowl collapse of all time.
Perseverance. To persevere at something, according to Merriam-Webster, means to, quote, persist in a state, enterprise, or undertaking in spite of counter-influences, opposition, or discouragement, end quote. Although all of the teams and individuals in the video, especially those teams from Georgia, have stumbled in battle after battle, one thing remains true. Perseverance has been a huge part of the team's programs or the players' lives. Throughout the years of being a fan of teams in Georgia, my family and I have experienced significant ups and downs. If you know anything about sports in our state, especially professional sports, you know that Atlanta teams have never quite seemed to bring home the big one. And unfortunately, the University of Georgia has suffered the same fate. The most notable Atlanta team to not bring home the big one, especially being as close as they were a few years ago, were the Atlanta Falcons. With Matt Ryan being the NFL MVP, they had one of the best offenses in team history. After winning their first NFC championship since 1998, they were poised to win their first Super Bowl. After dominating in the first half, the Falcons found themselves with a 28-3 lead, and it appeared they were well on their way to winning their first Super Bowl in team history. However, they were unable to sustain the pressure that Tom Brady and the team brought, and therefore this game truly epitomized the definition of choke in Atlanta sports.
Devin, I can't listen to this.
Come on, Mr. Mack, hold up.
Are you gonna do this to all the Atlanta teams?
Yep,
I can't take it, man.
it'll be all right.
You think it's gonna help?
It'll help, I promise. After having their best season in team history, the 2015 Atlanta Hawks, while having 4 All-Stars on the team, Jeff Teague, Al Horford, Paul Millsap, and Kyle Korver, won a franchise record 60 games while maintaining a 19-game win streak, and they were the first team to go undefeated in a full month of basketball. After reaching their first conference finals in team history, there were high expectations for the Hawks to beat the Cavaliers. However, with injuries to 2 of the 5 Atlanta, disappointing for Atlanta fans after reaching its first Eastern Conference final in
This Atlanta team recently ignited hope once again for Atlanta fans in capturing another championship. A young but talented team took on the St. Louis Cardinals in the 2019 Divisional Series and held a 2-1 lead, with one win away from reaching the league championship. However, they would go on to lose Game 4 in St. Louis, which meant the Braves would go on to host Game 5 in a winner-take-all game to move on. They were down 10-0 after the first inning and ultimately lost 13-1 in the series for the fans. People believed the Braves would definitely reach the World Series. However, things took a turn for the worst, and they would end up losing 3 games in a row and lose the National League Championship Series to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Being the most familiar college team in Georgia, people expect a lot out of the Bulldogs. In his second season, Kirby Smart took the Bulldogs to the national championship in 2017, where they played former foe, the Alabama Crimson Tide. As Georgia held a 20-7 lead in the middle of the third quarter, Georgia fans believed this would be their first national championship since 1980. However, just like other teams from Georgia, they would go on to lose the lead to Alabama backup and now NFL quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Georgia would go into next season with the same record, entering the Southeastern Conference Championship, but once again having to face Hall of Fame coach Nick Saban in Alabama. Things look very similar this time, holding a 21-7 lead, and Georgia fans believed they would be returning to the college football playoff for the second year in a row. However, they would go on to lose to Alabama 35-28 in another heartbreaking game for Georgia fans. Each one of these crushing blows is devastating not only to the teams themselves, but to fans as well. One Prep fan, Prep's own Mr. Gay, had this to say about Georgia teams. "When I die, I want members of the Atlanta Braves, Falcons, Hawks, and Georgia Bulldogs to lay my casket in the ground so they can let me down one more time." Mr. Jamie McAteer, another well-known fan of Georgia teams, said, "I love my Atlanta Braves. Yes, we won 14 consecutive division titles and only one World Series. Yes, we fell victim to the worst infield fly rule ever. Yes, we let the Cards come back on us 2 years ago. Yes, we let the Dodgers come back on us last year. But I will always love my Atlanta Braves. I love those Falcons too. Yes, we had the worst Super Bowl collapse of all time. I also love the Hawks. I mean, they have never quite been able to build a team, but okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore." It is obvious that through loving our teams the way we do, we feel that same pain in the loss as those who play sports. Team sports, and not just those from Georgia, are not the only ones to suffer such loss. A finalist for the Heisman Trophy, Alex Smith was the start of a promising NFL career. He led the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship in 2011. Soon after, he was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs and led them to 4 playoff appearances in 5 seasons. Alex was then traded again to the Washington Redskins in 2018 and suffered a horrific leg injury, only to be told he would probably never play football again, let alone walk. Fast forward to 2020, the year of improbability, and Alex Smith was once again quarterbacking the Washington football team. In 2008, fresh off winning Rookie of the Year, Brandon had 3 shots off the lead, but he quickly cut that margin to just 1 shot after just 2 holes, and the momentum seemed to be in his favor. However, when he began the back 9, things drastically changed for the young American from Nashville, Tennessee. He would go on to bogey 2 out of the first 3 holes on the back 9 and hit his second shot in the water on the 13th hole, which put him 5 shots back of the leader and former winner Trevor Immelman. After this hole, Snedeker lost all confidence and was unable to recover. A similar situation occurred in 2013 where he was tied for the lead with Argentinian star Angel Cabrera. He would take a 1-shot lead after the first 2 holes and maintain his position in the top 3 throughout the first 9 holes. Likewise, in the same tournament, Snedeker started the back 9 with 2 consecutive bogeys, and he found the water once again on the 13th hole. This would take him out of contention and 5 shots back of the leader and former champion from Australia, Adam Scott. After turning pro in 1996, Tiger Woods began his career with a win in the 1997 Masters that led to a list of 15 major championship wins and 81 PGA Tour wins. Despite being successful, Tiger was plagued by back pain and knee issues, and this was detrimental to his career. In 2013, with the gallery and people watching at home, we see Tiger drop to his knees with debilitating pain. This had been plaguing him for years. He battled through several knee and back injuries from 2002 to 2017 when he had his most recent back surgery. It was the most successful to date. 2 years tour to this day. Through various types of sports, all athletes are encouraged to pursue perseverance. It is that drive from within that spurs an athlete to keep moving forward to get their head back in the game after a fumble, strikeout, or missed basket. The teams and individuals I mentioned before have not given up. Much like Tiger, persevering through his injuries and winning the 2019 Masters, the Atlanta Falcons made the playoffs the year after the Super Bowl collapse, but have missed it ever since. The Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Braves, however, are young teams on the rise and look to continue to build team chemistry as they look to capture a championship for the first time since 1995 for the Braves and for the first time in team history for the Hawks. Georgia looks to build off recent success this past season and carry that into next season in hopes of winning the championship. Alex Smith returned to football this past year and was able to play in some games for the Washington football team and help them win the division and make the playoffs. He is currently nursing a calf injury and contemplating his NFL future. For the golfers, they have recovered quite nicely. PGA Tour star Brandt Snedeker has not let the Masters mishap disrupt his game. In 2018, he went on to shoot a 59 and put his name in the record books en route to winning the Wyndham Championship. They continue to set goals and each season try to better themselves. You can have a great start and a strong finish, but more importantly, you should finish where you start. Here's where perseverance comes in. Throughout life, much like the athletes and teams mentioned here, we will all experience ups and downs, and there will be times when we will surely fail. However, we need to just throw in the proverbial towel. We will each have a story to write that is uniquely ours, and we can only do that by persisting through tough times to await the outcome on the other side. I hope that all of you persevere in your dreams and goals, whatever they may be, no matter how high the mountain is that you have to climb to achieve them. As legendary North Carolina coach Jim Valvano said before he lost his battle with cancer, quote, "Don't give up. Don't ever give up," end quote. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Devin. I hope your faith in Atlanta teams pays off, especially next October when the Braves win the World Series. Let's please thank Devin's family again for joining us today. And at this time, I'll let Devin join his family, juniors, seniors, and visiting advisories. Please congratulate Devin from a distance. Thank you.
And so then he was like, "Oh, we should do that in the real thing."
Dog got some. I should have brought her.
I don't know if it's better or worse than I'm a Tech fan too. I mean, 'cause at least I don't have to live through all those Georgia losses. But I mean, Tech, you don't really live through anything. Except basketball in the '90s. I did it. I was good. That does hurt though.
We'll see you tonight.
Want the Braves to.
Which one? I was gonna say. Will told me you guys scored 28 tonight. He said Chuck was starting. So y'all heading to the country and then some more country?
I looked it up, if we took the shortest route, which is on the back road, it's 65 miles from the house to the gateway.
Really? Oh, I think straight down I-20 for us is 62 miles.
We'll go up, hit 20 probably, and go up and go that way. We're gonna go almost the same time frame as.
Thanks, Connor.
My stuff something? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how long does it take to get to Gatewood? Still a little bit. It's not fun, yeah. It's not during the week. Yeah.
On a Tuesday night,
On a Tuesday night, that's the thing, yeah. Yeah, when are y'all leaving? Did the girls already leave?
JV left.
Oh, yeah.
3:15, the varsity boys and